This is DownHome Sports, covering the best sports and student athletes in Ellis County. Brought to you by Pinnacle Bank with ATM Live, powered by the people. Not just another bank in Texas, but Texas in a bank. The United States Marine Corps, the fighting spirit of an entire nation. Doe City Pizza and Burgers. For the best in artisan pizza and burgers, go to Doe City in Red Oak, Texas, across from the high school. It is delicious.
With today's busy schedules, we need flexibility. Pinnacle Bank is the way banking should be. With ATM Live, powered by the people. They have hours that make it easy. Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can just pull up to one of the easy to access ATMs, where there's always someone live, friendly, and knowledgeable to help you. Pinnacle Bank, not just another bank in Texas, but Texas in a bank. Member FDIC.
All right, boys and girls, guess what? It's time to get ready for some wrestling in Ellis County. And we got the two guys right here that know the most about it in the county. We got Coach Shivers from Midlothian High School. We got Coach Stroner from Midlothian Heritage High School. Guess what, though? He is also the regional rep for high school wrestling through the Texas High School Coaches Association. Gentlemen, thank y'all for coming here. And Coach Stroner, we're going to start with you. Talk about last year for Heritage and, you know, where y'all got last year and how you see this coming this next year.
And, you know, I started out with I had 22 kids and about half of them were sold on the program. I think I ended last season with football about 31. This year I'm sitting at just wrestling, 45 kids, and then I'll have about 15 football kids come over. And the goal is just constantly trying to make the brand and build the brand up. I didn't know what I was getting into as far as like what kind of kids were there. But when we started to make our turn towards districts, I could see that we were starting to build some momentum. And, to Shivers, I mean, it's always a good competition, for us. And he has a solid team every year. And, I'm appreciative of that is because if they're not having healthy competition, your team's not going to have something to grow to. And, us being close to them and close to Burleson Centennial, gives the kids hope and me hope in the program that, we're obviously growing things in the right direction.
Coach Shivers, what about the program over at MHS?
Right now, we got about the same numbers, 40 just in wrestling, and then I'll bring over about the same amount, about 15 to 20 kids from football. We're kind of in that reload phase. We had some injuries and, because of COVID, some guys move over from California, from UIL and stuff. So that, we were missing some people that got us close to possibly winning the regional and winning the district, of course. So Casey had a strong team last year, and most of them graduated, but Casey always figures out a way. And, of course, with Midlothian Heritage, they're coming on, that the Heritage program is really growing. It's going to help us be better. I mean, he's just got a great beard and good coach and all that stuff. So, it's the perfect atmosphere in Midlothian just to have this wrestling town, and the numbers going at it. And hopefully I think the competition just within our town is going to be scary.
Coach Stroner, talk about the junior high coaches, how impactful they are in those programs to getting y'all to these numbers now.
It's when I took the Heritage job, it's Cornwall over at Walnut Grove had already allocated for his wrestling. So, I took on the wrestling part as being the middle school wrestling coach. And, my biggest push has always been vertical alignment. And then I didn't see, as a young coach, you don't really see like how much middle school really plays in, especially in wrestling, just because of how Texas treats it to being so foreign. And this year when I had I literally, for the seniors that I'll lose this year, I'm reloading all my freshmen, this year. And with that, it speaks numbers. So as far as like what I can't really, maybe Shivers will have a better answer as far as how well the middle school coaches, help, connect our programs. But just for me, having that vertical alignment, when our freshmen show up to practice, they already know who they're, what we're going to do, how we're going to run practice, what the expectations are, the community service that we're going to do, the community outreach we're going to try to, encase in our program. So it's not like a culture shock. You kind of know what you're already buying into, and it just helps you grow your numbers tremendously.
Gotcha. Coach Shivers, I know Coach Barnes does one of the feeders into, I thought it was both y'all's programs. I'm sorry about that. But because I'm not sure about the Dietrich alignment too much. But, I mean, how does it help having those kind of guys down there? And, I mean, I went and watched a couple of junior high matches last year, and those were some really good matches. You saw good things from that junior high program.
It's, with Coach Barnes there, that's basically a second sport from the high school. And so, the good news about MISD athletics, they had allocated a budget for those guys, just for wrestling, because when I was at Eaton in Northwest, we were starting the junior high program, and we were okay with just doing it in their athletic shorts and shirt and socks, but Midlothian ISD is taking it seriously by ordering the singlets and all that. The only thing that was bad, of course, was due to COVID, was the competition. We were just stuck with ourselves. And this year stuff, we're going to try to branch out. Arlington is interested in us. That's the closest gig, and I think it's best as far as junior high. If I could, I'd take them to Keller or, the Northwest area if we could. But I run basically the junior high program at Dietrich. With every high school, you need 2 junior highs. And, I'm hoping that happens to Heritage soon, where they have their own 2 junior highs to pull from, the way the town is growing, and it maybe will get that way. So, Stroner will have his 2 feeders. I'll have my 2 feeders. And then, Burleson Centennial being close, hopefully we can get them involved. But, Coach Rector over at Dietrich was real good. Already ordered the stuff, took advantage of, the bond that they get for the new school, had everything set up, had a mat ready for them. It was good because, Coach Stroner brought his team over, and we wrestled each other every Friday. Even though it's the same people, we got, 3 nights of competition in, and, that may not have happened, if we were somewhere else because of all the good that happened with Dietrich opening up.
That's awesome. Well, Coach Stroner, just let's hear about some of the people that we think, are going to be your all-stars, and maybe somebody that you just see that has that potential to just break into that all-star role for you this upcoming season.
So for sure, I've got to talk about when we have this conversation is Anthony Schmidt and Noah Clayton. Noah Clayton in the practice facility popped his elbow early last season. So we just struggled with wearing that brace, and just kind of getting through a regular season. But he has been fully medically cleared and coming back, and he's just all wheels go. And then Anthony Schmidt has just ended his recruiting visit with Air Force, and so they're highly interested in him, and he's going to be my 45-pounder, which is, that's great for that young man. That's one of the big things we push in my program is, every coach wants to win, and I know that's the thing to say, but the big thing for me and just the way that where I say my community outreach is I want these young men and women to go to college on somebody else's budget. That's the honest truth.
Amen.
And, and then mom and dad kind of get on my side about that. But so those 2 were breakout guys that are expected. You come into a program and they're expected to do something. My up-and-comers would have to be Jordan Martinez, my 13 to 20, which we haven't decided yet. But last year he came out after basketball cut him. And then with 2 months of, really good practice time, he actually ended up getting 6th in the region at 120. And then Thomas Vasquez is my 160. He's kind of just embraced the sport and, gone, full. He even cut his hair, which is drastic for these kids, but he got tired of it getting to his face in practice. And then my last one, which is, it's hard to pick, but my 106, Mario Aguaro, he's just really put his head down and just got to work at 106, and he literally wrestled freestyle all summer, and any opportunity he got to lift or train with somebody else outside of us, he did it. So
Awesome.
that's
Coach
always
Shivers.
the one on my mind.
I'm sorry. Coach Shivers, what about you, man?
We lost 2 of the seniors, and they were big ones. Felix Saunders and Marshall Hodges. That's a big ding on it. And so we have the fortunate side of it, my sophomore 106 is going to stay 106, which is unusual at times because those grow out of it. And then, we got Eli and Carson Tompkins coming back, and, they were state placers as well. And so as far as filling the holes at heavyweight, we have another Tompkins in there. Thank the Tompkins family for those boys because they are athletes. Yeah. And they love wrestling as well as football. So that's a big help. Henry Bumgarner, who was injured last year, he missed out on district. We needed him last year, and we're going to have him back. And then, we're just filling in a bunch of holes with a bunch of new guys. But we've got a freshman at 220 that has experience. He wrestled varsity last year. And the middle ground, those middleweights right there are going to be, we're going to struggle, but we're going to be pretty good. We're going to be competitive.
Well, Coach Shivers, I want to stick with you real quick. One of the kids that kind of shocked me was you had somebody like a Cole Martin, who's an athlete that comes into the program, has never wrestled before, and was standing toe-to-toe with some state-bound guys in that weight class. I mean, and now you see him taking that on to a different sport this year, and some of his technique, I've been told has been cleaned up, et cetera, and he attributes a lot of that to wrestling. I mean, what about those kids like that? And people think, it's going to take all this time. And wrestling is very technical. Difference between a half inch on your arm to make a move can mean the difference in a match. But how quickly can somebody pick this up that has some kind of athletic prowess?
Oh, you look at Travell, and Schroeder knows this, at Arlington High. He didn't come into wrestling until his sophomore year. And then he's a bronze medalist for the Olympics. I had a female wrestler at Eaton that came in and just started doing it her freshman year. Granted, her dad played football for Alabama, so she had good genes.
Yeah.
And, she ended up at third and first, third her sophomore year and first her junior year, at state. So, you have to have some athletic ability, but at the same time, you got to have some want to. And wrestling just takes that want to. And some people, because wrestling is a sport for the little guy as well. Football can't play some little guys, but they're athletic as all get out. They're your skater kids, they're your fearless ones, but they're just too small for football. But wrestling really opens up that door for those guys. And you find out, and to me, it's just, if you've got that no fear attitude, you're going to have, you're going to do all right in wrestling. If you're ornery, and you can pick it up real fast.
Well, and Coach Stoner, from a high school coach's perspective, a regional perspective, how great is it to see? I mean, over the summer, I got to see a lot of these kids were posting they were going to extra meets and stuff like that. I probably saw about 15 of them throughout the area that were actually going to stuff. I know there's a young man out of Waxahachie that's wrestling. I caught him on track wrestling. But, you've got this whole, we got kids that are in third grade now they're out there independent wrestling. How great is that to see from a coaching standpoint, but then a regional standpoint through, the wrestling deal there, because it just seems like the sport's gaining some momentum in the area.
It's a wonderful thing to see, honestly. It's because, when me and Shivers had that conversation, it's because it was that year that we both came in as like taking over these programs. We both agreed we want this to be a wrestling town, and then to branch out to Ellis County and let that just take over, because like we talked about, we have to be aware of football along with wrestling. And one of the biggest things, is that, and you can talk to NFL down, wrestling is that connector that makes a good football player to a great football player, that a lot of them would say. And for that to just branch out, and then to see some like regional recognition for Ellis County is really big, because then people start to show up at tournaments and wonder if me or Shivers AKA Midlothian Heritage or Midlothian, either one of those names show up to a tournament, they know it's going to be a tough tournament. And so it's great to have that, recognition.
Coach Shivers, last year y'all had the event out at the stadium, which was wonderful. Glad that we were able to attend. But talk about, are y'all going to do that again this year? Is that going to be an expanded deal? Might it be a challenge, like a challenge where y'all bring somebody like Burleson Centennial in? Or y'all planning on just having that as a Midlothian Ellis County deal again?
To me personally, it's a Midlothian Ellis County deal, just because it's between us, and we can always hook up with Centennial. I think we have a try with them, like in December going on. So we always has that, but I think it's important just to keep it in the town, just because it's the two different schools. There's the heated rivalry, and it's just it's kind of like a little fraternity / sorority, because of girls and guys wrestling.
Yeah.
So it needs to be, because there's plenty of other stuff that people will see, but I like it just in between us.
That's pretty awesome. Well, Coach Stroner, how did y'all's wrestlers react having that many people out there to see a duel?
Man, when I got to go back, Monday and tell them, we had 200 and something people in the stands, and plus like all the factors of like weather, and like we had the mats kind of at the beginning, and then we went to one mat and everything, all of that combined, it kind of fired the kids up and they got excited for it. And, as far as like addressing, like I do want it to be, between us, and, I got deep into my scheduling and probably didn't allocate the time like I should have for that event, but we do want to keep that between us, and that will be something, that we will keep up.
Awesome. Well, Coach Stroner, give us, I know you got a weight. Is it where you set your weight coming up? Weight certification. I'm sorry. You got weight certification coming up. What else do y'all have coming up in like the next month?
So in the next month, which would obviously, are you talking about in October? I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Okay, so much of October, we're just going to be, lifting, running, and then into our practice plans. We'll have our first ever Rumble in the Jungle dual tournament at Heritage November 13th, which will kick off our season. And then I think that's going to be covering us all the way to the starting of, just to get us started. But that's about it. It's just weight certs, and then just kind of see where the chips fall.
And Coach Shivers, do y'all got anything planned up?
We got our weight cert coming up, and October, our practice starts Wednesday. And then we'll be at Arlington High for November 12th for their tournament. And I'm hoping I'm without my football players, so, because it's playoffs. So, and that'll be good for us, so they can carry on that winning and back into our wrestling program.
That'll work. Well, guys, thanks so much for spending some time with us. Wish y'all the best of luck this year. I know these two programs, you can say on the rise, but you definitely made your mark in the wrestling community. And, I can't wait to see y'all go down to Sci Fair and tear it up too. But, no, I mean, we wish you the best and know that y'all are going to represent Ellis County, Midlothian, with pride, dignity, and honor in everything that y'all do. And thank you guys for getting this sport started. And, folks, check your local area. There are some wrestling groups that are around. If you'd like to get your young kids into it, make sure you find that out. Send one of these guys an email. They could probably hook you up with a wrestling team, but you can find them on the school websites. Thanks so much again, and we'll hopefully talk to y'all down the road as y'all get started, okay? Elite Tire and Automotive. Ever have one of those days and just need a little hand? Well, with our remote services, we'll just hop right on it. Get you back on the road quick and easy with automotive services to cover all your mechanical needs. Need that state inspection done? Well, we can do that too. So roll on in and see a friendly face. Give us a call and we can be right on the spot to assist you. So trust the friendly folks down at Elite Tire and Automotive, 972-775-1055.
County, you know where to go for the best pizzas and burgers.
Welcome to Doe City. How are you doing today?
A menu that allows you to have it just the way you like it. Great, friendly customer service. And all the toppings you can handle. So what do our customers say about Doe City?
We come up here all the time, so we love the pizza and the burgers also.
It's somewhere we can all come and have a good time with our friends and enjoy the good food that they have here. I love the fries.
That it's cooked to order, so you're always gonna get it fresh.
Doe City's always a great place to come and hang out with your friends.
Whether it's Tuesday or Friday night after a ball game in Ellis County, guess what? You can always make it over and have a little bit of delicious.
It's delicious.
Delicious.
It's delicious.
So come in or order out at Doe City Pizza and Burgers in Red Oak, Texas.
We are welcoming in live Waxahachie Mustangs football. We got Coach Stanley. We've got Andrew Woodard joining us. We appreciate y'all taking time out of your busy evenings. Coach Stanley, start with you. I know y'all got a big game coming up this Friday night. You're coming off a loss against Alvarado, but you guys are still technically sitting in the playoff picture. It's a small district. Y'all got a very, very good chance. How do you think the guys are sitting right now as you move into the second game of district play?
Yeah, I mean, they responded well this morning. We got fall break, so we got practice in the morning today, and they responded well. They were excited. They got after it. So, I mean, they definitely believe, which we all believe, that we have just as good a chance as anybody else. You know, there's teams in our district that are 1-0, and there's teams in our district that are 0-1. So, one of those 0-1 teams is going to get into the playoffs. So why not us?
Now, Andrew, you got to practice in the morning. Coach said y'all were pretty fired up. Was it because it was like 60 degrees?
I think so. When I got up this morning, it was 6 degrees. I was so happy and ready to get out there. I think we're just ready to kick off this district and get the playoffs. We're tired of the same old thing. We want to get the wins in.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. And, you know, Coach, everybody looks at, you know, like a team like La Vega or Brownwood. I mean, y'all got a tough district that y'all are in, but every one of them have lost. Now, the one thing I will say about y'all is, do you think you got a good defensive line. And one of the things that a couple of these teams have shown this year is that you can penetrate their offensive line pretty easy sometimes, or easier than what it's been in the past. How do you think your pass rush is going to do this week, and how can that help vault y'all to a big win?
Yeah, I think that's a big key to our success is scheming up ways to get pressure on the quarterback. I think that's anybody and everybody that plays football. If you can get pressure on the quarterback and make that guy uncomfortable, then, you know, high school football. So, you got to make sure you stay in those rushing lanes. And so making sure that we stay sound in what we're doing and making sure we get to where we need to go is definitely the key for success.
One, Andrew, you know, y'all got a pretty good secondary back there. You got some guys with some skills back there. You know, how is these two things lining up on the defensive side of the ball? I mean, I can see where y'all could shut one of these teams down here in the next week or so. Just talk about how y'all are working together and how y'all are encouraging each other to get better every snap, every day, every week.
For sure. Yeah, we have a great athletic secondary. It just comes down to everybody doing their jobs and everybody being committed. But I think we're all pretty much on the same page that we want to win and we're going to come together. But yeah, I think we're all pretty good. Have a good chance.
Coach Stanley, we were talking with Andrew before we kicked off, and one thing he mentioned is that you guys had a fantastic practice today. And what I'm getting from that is that the attitude and the effort is still there. These guys are fighting. Talk about having this team. You start there's basically 2 seasons in a football season. You got your non-district, and then you got the real season for the district play. Talk about how these guys have stayed positive and are continuing to fight, that now district started and it's no looking back.
Yeah, I mean, that just comes down to it's a great group of kids. I mean, the kids that we have, you know, they're kids that are going to come and work hard. They're going to have a smile on their face. They like to play with, you know, one another. They really fight for the guy that's in that locker room next to them, and so that's just really a tribute to those guys and what they come and do each and every day. And exactly what you said, you know, we talked about before is you know, it is two seasons, and then, you know, they played a non-district schedule to prepare them for district, and, you know, we were lucky to come out of non-district relatively healthy, and so, you know, coming into district and had a good game against Alvarado. Just they made a few more plays than us, and you know, like I said, they came ready to play today, and came out and worked hard and got after it. And, so that was exciting to see. There's no quitting these guys.
No, and you know, Andrew, it's a race to 3 in a district like this. You know, if you get 3 district wins, you're in. You know, so is that the focus of the team? Is just, you know, continue to get better, get those 3 wins. Let's move on to the next deal. You know, what are some of the other things that y'all are focusing on as players to just keep getting that momentum going? I mean, I know it's, you know, it's a long season. People don't think 10 games is long, but when you boil it down to a 5-game second season, right? Get the 3, you're done. How do y'all keep motivating each other so much? Because, you know, we get to see some film on y'all through some highlights, and it's like maximum effort every snap.
Definitely. I think it's just, we're just so ready to get to the next week. Every Saturday we come up and watch film, get a stretch in, and we're just ready to get the next week no matter what happens. We're just really committed to playing for one another and doing what we're told to do and trying to do it well.
Well, Coach, you know, one of the big things is you got a few new people on your staff this year. How is that gelling? And as you go into district, how do you see some of the new wrinkles that y'all are going to be able to do, providing a big spark for y'all in district play?
Yeah, we, you know, blessed to hire a couple of guys that are really great coaches and add them to a staff that's been around. So we've got a good mix of younger guys and guys that are new to the staff that bring a lot of experience, and then guys that have been there for a while, kids know and trust. And I think that's a big deal, you know, as far as how the staff is gelled, man. It's just, you know, it comes together and everybody knows what the goal is and everybody understands what their role is. And it's just a matter of everybody doing their job, just like the kids. We talk about in our program all the time is a 4-way test. And we tell them, hey, you know, coaches got to believe in coaches, and coaches got to believe in players. Players got to believe in players, and players got to believe in coaches. So, you know, one of the first things that we look at as a coaching staff is, hey, we've got to believe in each other. We got to make sure that we have each other's backs just like, you know, anybody else. And so one of the big keys to adding, I always feel like is, and I tell coaches when I interview them, I tell them, hey, guys, whenever you come here, you're not coming here to just be a yes man. If you're going to be a yes man, then go somewhere else, you know, because I want somebody that's going to come and challenge the guys that are here and bring new ideas and challenge the kids. And, you know, and so that's something that I think we did a really good job of this offseason, hiring guys that will come in and bring new ideas and challenge ideas that the coaches already have or help, you know, make everybody better. So that's definitely something that we want to continue to do. And I think that just helps us. I think that we did some things against Alvarado that we hadn't done all year, and it was successful for us. And then, you know, we'll try to do that against Heritage. You know, Lee always likes to throw in some kind of trick play every week, so we'll see what we have up our sleeve for him.
Well, Andrew, you know, that offensive line, it looks like you're getting better and better and better. And one of the things is I know a lot of people don't understand, the offensive line is normally the last thing on a football team that comes together. You know, where do you feel like y'all are at on that O-line? And what are some of the things, you know, have you changed up your gaps? You know, what are those little bitty things that most people may take, you know, don't even know about, you know, that y'all are doing to get that game going a lot better in your direction?
I think the biggest part of the offensive line and how they're able to be successful is communicating with blitzes and playing your gaps and just protecting that. I think that's what we're trying to work on this week and what we've been working on. And also we're just kind of staying together, one unit, and encouraging each other and playing as one team right now. But yeah, communicating is the biggest part.
Well, and Seth, I'm going to tell you right now, if you haven't met this young man in person, attitude, check. Work ethic, check. Drive, check. Full bore, life Mustang, check. Coach, I mean, what can you say about having players like Andrew that will give you 110% of everything they've got on and off the field?
Yeah, it's great. It's great whenever you can trust a kid, that's going to come in every day and do their job and do their job not only, like you said, on the field, but in the classroom as well. Andrew had to miss a week earlier in the season, and I text him about every day and said, "Can you just hurry up and come back, please? Because I need Andrew Woodard." So. Whenever you have kids like that and that you can just rely on, I tell people there's certain kids in your program that you like and you love them all and you like them all. And I said, but there's only a few that you'll let watch your kids, and so I love you and I like you. I don't think I'd let you babysit, but Andrew's one of those kids. I'd probably let him come over and babysit if he wanted to.
That's awesome.
Gosh,
That's awesome. Well, Coach Stanley, I'm going to come back to you real quick. As we alluded to earlier, you guys have a in-county matchup this Friday night, which doesn't happen too often. It happens a few times a year here in Ellis County, but you get to go up against Heritage. Now, you've gone up against Coach Wigg a few times in your career. Talk about – I don't want to give away the whiteboard here, but talk about what are maybe some things that you guys know you need to be prepared for going up against Heritage. And what are some things that you would like to see that you think can help put you guys over the edge?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you go up against Coach Wigginton and in that group, you just know that they're going to be a disciplined football team. They're going to do the little things well, and they're going to do them over and over and over and over and over again. That's something that we preach to our guys, and I think that all football coaches preach, but it's just something that they have, their success is evidence of the discipline that those guys have. And so, what you have to do is you have to do your job better than they do their job. I mean, that's really what it boils down to. We have to execute better than they execute at what we're trying to do. And so you just want to take advantage of the opportunities that come available. I know that may sound like coach speak, but honest to goodness, that's what it is against Midlothian Heritage. I mean, they do some things. They have some nice wrinkles, but it comes down to they run the same schemes as a lot of folks that we play, and they just do them really, really well. And they've done that for since their existence. So it's just something that we try to out execute them, and so that's what we're going to try to do this Friday is go in and do the little things right and do them over and over again.
Well, and Andrew, I got to know this, okay? I know you're one of the guys that keeps everybody fired up, keeps everybody's head in the game, all that stuff throughout the night on a Friday night, even during workouts during the week. Who's that person that gets you fired up? Who are you running over? Who's grabbing you and just getting you all shook?
Oh, for sure, Clinton Reese. He's the best juice man in the world. All the time, he's just running around, screaming, yelling, and just gets you fired up in your eyes. Even on the field, too. He's just always there, pumping everybody up, no matter what, if we're winning, losing. During practices also, he's just the guy, I think.
Well, Coach, speaking about Clinton Reese, 71 solo tackles on the year, kind of anchoring down that defense for you, cleaning up some stuff. Just talk about him for a second and what he's meant to that defensive unit.
Man, what Clinton means to the team. I mean, Andrew kind of just alluded to it. He's the kid at practice that's just he's running around, and it's Tuesday, and it's week 4, whatever it is, or it's the bye week, and he's going, you know what today is? It's practice day, and that's just who he is, and he doesn't do anything. He doesn't do anything half speed. So his ability to be on that defense and to be kind of a guy that those coaches trust to make the calls and then flies around and models effort, models attitude, models leadership and everything that he does. I mean, that's something that's invaluable, and you really appreciate and are blessed whenever you have it.
Awesome.
Well, Coach Stanley and Andrew, we appreciate y'all taking time out of your evenings. Y'all got a big one Friday night, but we wish you the best of luck. Hopefully we can get y'all on here in a couple of weeks talking about a playoff berth. But you guys keep fighting. We know you're putting the work in. So go get them Friday night. Wish you the best of luck, and let's do this again.
Pinnacle Bank is here to help our community grow by partnering with local real estate agents and developers to bring the services we need.
There's so much happening here, and we're able to get Pinnacle Bank to join up with us. They've got a location at the Midlothian Crossing, and Christy, you're doing a great job. Debbie, you too. I love, for me as a local broker, is to bring local people to you as a prospect, and to show that you're part of the community.
So talk with someone you can trust about commercial loans and business services. Pinnacle Bank, not just a bank in Texas, but Texas in a bank. Member FDIC.
We would like to welcome in the Palmer Bulldog football team. We got Coach Waddle. We got Jacob Burman. I hope I pronounced that correctly because I'm horrible with last names. And then we got Colin Graves. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your evening. Now, Coach, come to you first. Starting off 3-0 in district play. That's got to feel pretty good. Another successful season. So to start, we always say football is two halves. You've got non-district and you've got district. You guys are rolling through district. How do you feel now going into Scurry Roster on Friday? Where do you feel your guys are hitting the right cylinders at going into game 4?
Well, you talk about the 2 seasons. We only got half of the first season because we missed our first 2 games.
Yeah.
So considering, what are we now, 4-1? We've only played 5 football games. I am thrilled where we're at. I think we are getting better every week so far. So if we keep doing that, I think we're going to be tough to deal with all the way through till the end.
Well, and Colin, one of the last things, we always mention this, but one of the last things normally to gel together is that offensive line on a football team. It just seems like y'all being really dominant off the ball. Talk about that and how y'all 5 are coming together and putting that push out there for them.
Well, we really, with it being a pretty small team this year, we have to be close, and that's a big thing. That goes a lot into it, because if we're not close and we don't have the chemistry that we need, then we can't move forward, and it doesn't work together. So we really try to have a lot of team get-togethers and stuff to just even not just the O-line, but everybody, so we can bond and get a good feel for each and every player.
Well, and one of the things is, O-line's going to talk more than anybody. Every play when y'all are coming up, you're talking about responsibility, gap coverage, all that stuff. Is it as tight as y'all are, is there almost an unspoken language that sometimes y'all can just look at each other and kind of know which direction y'all need to go?
Yes, sir. There's definitely some plays and some fronts that we see that we talk about, but more times than not, we definitely know exactly who each of us need to get and where we need to go.
Now, Jacob, talk about as one of the seniors on this team. One thing that I've noticed is y'all are getting touches in multiple different ways. It's not just pass heavy. You're finding different outlets to move the ball. Talk about the unselfishness of this team and how you guys are really embracing, hey, we're doing our jobs. It's not one individual, and y'all are moving the ball, scoring points. Talk about how you guys have taken this unselfish approach and it's working.
Oh, you just gotta, just work together as like a team, not give up on each other and just keep on moving forward. We make mistakes at the end of the day, but, we fix it. And, we just all work together as a team to get everything done and where we're at.
That's awesome, man. Well, Coach, you don't hear young men talk about like this, just, starting the program off. It takes years to get this kind of stuff coming out of these young guys. It takes people like you, your assistants. But just talk about, we want to touch a little bit on what are some of these guys that have meant so much to the program? Because I know you got people that return to come to games, former students, former players. What does that mean to your program, and how have those guys really set this program up for all the success you've been having?
Well, I'm on year 8 here, and there's been some years we've struggled, but we've never changed how we approach practice, how we work. What we game plan the same for anybody we play. It doesn't matter if we are favored to beat them by a lot or favored to get beat by a lot. We try to win every game we play. I feel like most of our players are bought into what we're doing. The older players definitely, especially the past 3 or 4 years, we've had some success, and it means everything. A lot, like you're talking to Jacob and Colin tonight, they're both have played a lot for 3 years on varsity now. So they're the guys leaving the next legacy, but we feel like we built something here that we can sustain consistent winning, and all the players before them, and we're hoping it just becomes what they expect, and they don't know any different. And so we're proud of where we're at. We just want to we're trying to get to the next level now, which is go deeper in the playoffs.
Well, Colin, to build on that, when you're a guy playing up front like that, this is your 3rd year on varsity, and so you've seen guys come before you and instill certain values, instill work ethic in you, and that trickles down from Coach Waddle. Do you feel a responsibility as a senior, though, especially up front on that line, that now you are in charge of building that mentality and leaving it for those younger guys that are there with you on how Palmer football is supposed to run?
Definitely. I mean, this is my first year playing on the O-line, and I think that adds a little more to it, just kind of showing the young guys, no matter what position you've played in the past doesn't mean that if you get moved, then it's the end of the world. You got to own up to what you have to do. And we have a saying, be somebody. And I'm not built like a lineman, but obviously I'm going to go out there and I'm going to show, I'm going to prove myself and do what I need to do to help my team. And I think that kind of helps show the younger kids kind of what they need to do and what to expect once they get older and even now when they're young.
Well, Jacob, let's talk about, just attention to detail. When you have such a small team, number-wise, you got to make the plays. Everybody's kind of getting worn out. How important is it to go through those little details for y'all, like tackling right, driving through your tackle, making sure your routes run really crisp, making sure you get your block. There's those little things in football that make the biggest difference in the world. How important is that, and how much focus do y'all put on that during practice during the week?
Oh, that is very important. I mean, we put a lot of focus on that. We put a lot of work every day into that, but it just shows just got to keep on working, don't miss no assignments. Everything has to be nice if you want to win. You got to be perfect and stuff, and, just get out there and just play, do you, and just play your ball.
Well, Coach, he said, he's not the biggest lineman out there, but if you're a technical person, we just talked about that just a second ago, but just talk about the technicality of your line play, because it just seems like a little bit I've gotten to see, right, that these young men, I mean, the blocking and the way that they're doing it is fantastic. And that means a lot as far as, how your offense is going to run, the crispness of it, timing of the back coming through, et cetera. Just talk about the technicality that these guys have. I mean, he's the center. He's got to be the smartest guy on the field, because I was, back in the day. But just talk about that and about the technicality that your group has risen to the level of.
Well, as far as technicality goes, it's just making sure they all know their individual assignments. And it can change based on front or whatever you want to talk about there. I think the biggest thing we've done, and our offensive line coach, Coach Boss, has done a great job of. First of all, Colin mentioned the be somebody thing. And what that means to our team is it's no job too big or too small for any of us. You're all got to take the mentality of I'll do whatever it takes to help this team be successful. And that's what that be somebody is. In Colin's case, he's played running back. He's been our starting middle linebacker now for 3 years. We asked him to go to center. As far as getting real technical with him, we haven't had to do that because he's such a good athlete, and we don't sit there and try to ask him to block big old heavy kids right in front of him. So obviously he's on the move. He plays sideways a lot. And one thing about Colin is if he gets past you and he's getting sideways and he gets up on you, you're fixing to get put on the ground. He's a very physical football player. So what I think Coach Boss has done and what our staff has done is just do a good job of put our current players we have right now in the best situation from an offensive perspective to try to score points and be successful.
Now, Colin, I got to know, what do you enjoy more, a nice pancake on the line or blowing somebody up the middle when you're playing linebacker?
Oh, that's definitely blowing somebody up. Coming through the hole and just letting her eat. That's the best feeling in the whole world.
Well, Jacob, I know you run a catch, so is it going to be catching that pass, tiptoeing in the line, or is it just going to be busting one for about 80 yards?
Probably busting one for 80 yards, of course. I love to do that.
Awesome.
Well, Coach, you got Scurry Rosser here on Friday. We're looking to continue to roll. What are maybe some things that you're wanting to see improvement from? You guys are starting 3-0 in district play, which is where you want to be. But what are still some things that you want to see growth as you continue to move through district?
For us, really, nothing's really super football specific or position specific. We just want to continue to grow as a team, become closer and closer, really, really be able to trust and depend on each other. And then there's one thing we haven't done yet this year that I would like to see change. We haven't had a game yet where we have on our goal board no stupid penalties. We haven't hit that goal yet. We've always had a minimum of one stupid penalty per game. So if we can eliminate those and continue to get better like we have been, I think we'll be playing football for quite a while this fall.
Now, what classifies as a stupid penalty?
It can be a late hit. It can be something you can control. You're going to have your basic football penalties, a holding, something to that effect. But it's stuff a player can simply control just by doing things that I guess you can call it, I don't want to call it greedy, but to me, like a late hit, you're not putting the team before yourself, because it hurts the team. It could be a celebration type thing. There's a lot of little things. We don't specifically name them because we want to keep our kids on their toes. But anything that hurts the team that you can control, that pretty much is a stupid penalty.
Gotcha. Well, Jacob, real quick, we're going to come to you. I know probably know who Michael Irvin is, and you found your way in the end zone, so I know you can get loud and proud. So why don't you tell everybody in Ellis County why they ought to make it down to Palmer and check y'all out right now, and don't wait until you are in the playoffs in the 4th round, okay? They need to get out there this week and come see y'all. So what would you say to them? Get that fired up speech for us.
Y'all need to come out and watch us because, we work hard every day for this. We don't just come down, to back down from anybody. We're like here to play. We're a real fun team to watch. We always come out with a bang and stuff like that. And, we're real excited to watch. And, y'all really need to come out and watch us.
Well, I'll tell you what, Coach, it's great to hear these young men, well-spoken young men. And I want to thank you, your staff, and everybody out down there in Palmer for all that y'all do between the lines and outside of the lines as well, because it reflects in how these young men and their parents have helped them out throughout their lives.
Yes, sir.
Well, we thank y'all so much. Best of luck, because y'all, I believe, traveling on the road Friday night, correct?
Yes, sir.
Well, y'all take it to them, bring a W back home, and we can't wait to get you guys back on talking district championship, maybe talking 4th, 5th round, hopefully for this playoffs coming up. So good job. Keep it rolling, and we can't wait to have you back on.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
will to belong begins here, among the few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey, 2 bits, 4 bits, 6 bits, $1. Guess what? Stand up, y'all. We got Italy cheers, so stand up and holler. We got Coach Brown. We got Morgan. Coach Brown, just talk about, the cheer group there. Almost every one of your cheerleaders is in 20 things. How do these girls do all that and stay so positive about everything?
They're absolutely exhausted, but they work hard and they prioritize what they're supposed to do, and they put all their effort into what's happening right this second and can compartmentalize so that when they're playing volleyball, they're playing volleyball. And when they're playing basketball, they're playing basketball. And when they're on the mat cheering, they're 100% cheering.
Well, and Morgan, some people out there, not me, I have 3 daughters, okay? 2 of them did cheer. But talk about the athleticism that you have to have that you build up through cheer, but it falls into a lot of different other athletic events.
It's hard to say. I started cheering when I was 5 competitively. So it's just a lot of hand-eye coordination and upper strength. You have to be able to lift weight. If you can't, there's no way you can cheer. You can't stunt, you can't tumble. You have to be at least a little bit athletic to jump. So it takes a lot.
Well, and Coach, most people don't realize that y'all go to a lot of different competitions. Unfortunately, right now, cheer is not a UIL sanctioned deal, but there are plenty of things out there for the high school to participate in. Can you talk about some of the things y'all have done?
Well, that's not a completely accurate statement. Cheer is UIL now.
Oh, it is now. Okay, my bad.
It's okay. It has been for the last, oh my gosh, don't swear to this, but maybe 6 years, somewhere in that neighborhood. There's a UIL competition is in January. We have gone. Last year was the only year that I've been coaching that we didn't compete, and it's because I had COVID during UIL. I was still quarantined and we couldn't have gone to UIL because of that. But the year before, we finished 7th at UIL out of all the 2A schools. The year before that, we finished 6th out of all the 2A schools in the state of Texas. So they've done very, very well. Had a lot of success at UIL. And I'm very, very proud of their UIL performances. I expect them to make that top 10 again this year. UIL competition 22 is January 14th through the 16th at not K. Bailey Hutchins, it's the one in Fort Worth Convention Center. And so it'll be that weekend, and we'll be there to compete. That will be our last competition before we head to Florida for nationals.
Awesome. And Morgan, when you're talking about doing this and bringing home gold medals and stuff like that, top 10s, everything that you ladies have been doing, and Morgan, you're a senior, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, your whole class has been doing nothing but winning. How does it feel to add another thing to that Italy trophy case with cheerleading?
Honor, because I've been in the program for 4 years, and every single year gotten a bid to be able to go to nationals. Now every 2 years we go to Disney if we get the bid. So hopefully we get the bid this year and get that Disney title too.
Awesome. Well, and Coach,
I'll expand on that. So in November they go to Louisville to compete in UCA Game Day Regional. They have to get a bid there to go to nationals. And so it's an invite only competition. It's not a pay to play. They have to have an invitation. They are the reigning state champions in game day fight song, game day crowd leading, and then they got 3rd place last year in the band dance.
Very nice. Very, very nice. Well, and Morgan, come back to you. I know you got some of your friends there with you. Everybody's trying to photobomb you and everything else. But going to a small school, is it not great that you have those friends, you have those close ties when you're on the cheer squad? You're playing all these sports together. You're so tied anyways, but then being able to turn around and cheer on all the rest of your friends once you're finished with that.
It's fun. One of my cousins is on our cheer squad, and I get to cheer with her. And I have since freshman year, and then my mom being the coach, that's fun too. But just the small town support of everybody going to the football games and everybody going to the volleyball games and basketball games, it's fun.
Awesome. Well, Coach, I know y'all do a lot more than just cheer everybody on. I know your group is very philanthropic. Talk about some of the things that you've had the ladies do to give back to the community.
With COVID, they haven't done as much as they did in the past. Hopefully that will change, coming back to this season, we'll be able to get back into the stuff and do Italy Night Out. We didn't do it last year. They didn't have an Italy Night Out last year. We do a lot with the special needs kids, send-offs for all of the sports that go to the playoffs, and lots of things like that. We did face painting the last time they had a big thing downtown, and so it's been a lot of fun. I'm super proud of them.
Well, Morgan, how does it make you feel being a senior, 4 years in the program, when you see these little girls that want to emulate you, that you're out there inspiring other young ladies to be more than they probably think they can be, showing them that there is a path, there is a strategy to be somebody like you someday?
It's like, I like being like, it's a role model spot, and it's fun. Like at the football games, there's a bunch of all the Italy IYA cheerleaders. They're down at the fence trying to copy us and do what we do. And at the pep rallies, they're like always right there trying to do what we do. And they always like ask for pictures and stuff. And it's like enjoyable. It makes it way more fun.
That's awesome. Well, Coach, talk about a couple other things y'all got coming up. I know y'all just had the homecoming parade. Y'all's float was awesome looking. I did get to see that. Thanks to Barry. And but just talk about some of the things that y'all got coming up. I know y'all are going to be at the football games the rest of the year, but is there anything else where somebody could actually come see these young ladies do their stunts and everything?
Absolutely. Pep rallies, of course, and football games, basketball games. Competition season kicks off next month. November 14th is UCA Regionals in Louisville. November 21st, we host a cheer competition at home at UCA Game Day Regional. And we'll have a bunch of teams, probably, if I had to guess, in the neighborhood of 75 teams will come to Italy to compete. Then January is UIL, and February is Nationals at Disney World. So
that's going to be awesome. Well, we hope y'all win that bid to make it all the way to Disney. But we know one thing, folks, make it down to Italy. I'm going to tell you, one of my favorite places to go during basketball season is down in that dome, because these young ladies can get that dome a-rocking. Okay? But, Coach, thank y'all so much. We wish you the best of luck. And we'll be keeping up with you. And once you win that bid, we'd love to have you and a few more of your ladies come on, talk about the excitement of making that big trip to Nationals.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Do you know the difference?
Well, the best benefit in having True Benefits is the fact that they're easy. You can get a hold of them. It's not 2 days later, a week later, I can make a phone call. If they don't have the answer, they'll get us the answer within 24 hours.
He came to the office and interviewed all of our girls and did a presentation, told them what they were offering, and the girls were able to decide what they needed.
They came in and gave us options both for our company and our employees that were affordable and beneficial for all.
No matter the size of your business or your employees' needs, True Texas Benefits is the partner for you.
Because Ellis County knows the difference.
True Texas Benefits for all your benefits needs.
We would like to welcome in your by-district champs for the 7th straight season, the Midlothian Tennis team. Not just that, it's the 10th year in the playoffs straight. It's also the 8th straight match you guys have won. So you guys are on a little bit of a roll. We got Coach Wrinkle, we've got Brittany, and we've got Nathan. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your evening to join us. And I say take time out of your evening. I mean, y'all just got done winning a by-district championship today. So you got to be feeling pretty good. Coach Wrinkle, what's the excitement level like in the locker room?
I think kids are excited. I think, they're starting to realize we're a good team, and we've got good tennis players from top to bottom. And sometimes, when you start a new year, everybody's kind of wondering, well, how good are we? And you don't know that until you make it through a season. And so I think everybody's bought into, their level, and how good they are. I hope they have. I've known that for a while. I've known what these kids are capable of, and I think that these kids are starting to get a sense of that as well.
Well, and Brittany, I got to come out there and see y'all play today. Your net play was amazing. How did y'all utilize that today and just really become a force out there to take that doubles match?
I like to make sure I play aggressive, get points at the net, and I think that really helped us win.
Awesome.
Well, Nathan, when you got an organization, when we talk about 10 straight years in the playoffs, 7 straight by-district championships, does it feel good? I mean, it's expected that you guys win. That's the culture that Coach Wrinkle and you kids have built over there in Midlothian. But does it feel good to get to this first round and kind of get that monkey off? You get through and it's like, okay, no upset here. We're going to keep rolling.
Of course. It feels really good because, we put in the work and it's finally paying off, and I feel like we're going to go far in the playoffs. So real good.
Well, Coach, every coach has their little pet peeve thing. I know you don't want no pushers. You want everybody attacking the whole time. But how good was it today? It seemed like, from what I was able to see early on in the doubles matches, that your first serves were doing very well. How does that set your teams up for success?
Well, if you've watched any tennis on TV, you know that one of the biggest stats that, the commentators on TV talk about is first serve percentage. It's really hard to get into people's service games if, they're dealing with your best shot, and that should be your first serve. So that's always a plus. We work on it. We work on improving it. It's the most important shot in tennis. And I think the kids have taken good ownership as well, that, just realizing that you only need one person to practice your serve. And so if your serve is not good, then that's pretty, indicative of who you are as a tennis player. And playing an individual sport, we talk about real blunt things like that. But that's the truth. You don't need me. You don't need a coach to go hit 100 serves a day. Those are things that you should be doing on your own. And if your serve's not very good, there's no one to blame but yourself. But the kids realize that, and the serves are good. One thing that I was even more impressed about than first serve percentage today was we didn't give away a whole lot of points in our service games by double fault. We didn't really give away a whole lot of free points. And that's always huge at the high school level.
Well, and Brittany, how do you find the mental tenacity? I mean, you were lighting it up there for a little bit on your serves and, creating some great advantages for y'all in that doubles match. You missed a couple of serves, but you bounced right back. What is it that coaches taught you, that you've learned from your parents, et cetera, that has enabled you just to get that out of your head real quick and take advantage of, being powerful again?
Well, just like Coach Sam just said, last night when I knew we had a match, I went out and served the basketballs, and he's always hitting on to us about having a good attitude. So I just, reset the next point, have a good attitude, and, play every point.
Awesome. Well, Nathan, what about your game specifically are you feeling good about after you roll through this by-district matchup? I mean, you get this far, you've played so long this season. Something has got to stick out that you're like, you know what, that's what I'm relying on right now. And then what's maybe one area that you're looking to continue to build on as you push through these playoffs?
Well, I've always had a pretty good serve, so I like my first serve right now. It's pretty hard, and when it's going in, it's hard to get back. It's definitely one of my strong points. And working at the baseline, I feel like I'm doing pretty good, just getting balls in and stuff like that. But I definitely need to work a little bit on my net game, especially in doubles, just finishing balls at the net and stuff like that, moving around. But I'm feeling pretty good.
Now, Coach Wrinkle, as a guy who didn't play tennis, I want to know at the high school level, especially when you're talking about the success that you guys have, but how important is consistency? I know when you look throughout other sports, especially when you're dealing with kids, usually the ones that can continue to do it on a consistent basis, whether it might not be the best at what they do, but they always seem to do it right. How much does that play into a factor into the success that your guys have and the success you can have against other people who maybe try to take more risk or are a little more inconsistent?
Well, we use a phrase in tennis that goes, consistency kills. It doesn't matter how good a shot you make. It doesn't matter if you miss by an inch. It doesn't matter if you miss over the fence. It's only worth a point. And so you've got to string 24 points together in a set, and you've got to win 2 sets to win a match. So if you're not able to play tennis at your level consistently, then basically you're just living to get on ESPN, and I was talking about this the other day. I don't know if you guys remember when OBJ made that one-handed catch against the Cowboys that you see on ESPN over and over. You know what? They lost that game. And so, you can't be that flashy guy. If you're not able to do it consistently, it doesn't matter. It's worth 1 point. You ace and then you double fault, it's worth 1 point. And so consistency kills. We say no free points on the return, no free points on the serve. Consistency kills, and that seems to be the winning formula for good tennis at every level that I've played and coached at.
Well, and Brittany, I wanted you to have the opportunity to talk about your doubles partner real quick, because that got y'all off to a good start today, and just about the bond that the two of y'all have. And I mean, there wasn't a lot of rah-rah, anything like that on the tennis court, but it looked like y'all just have this unspoken word. When y'all look at each other, you know exactly what the other one's thinking, et cetera. Just talk about how that relationship's been built and how that can propel y'all into going a lot further in the playoffs.
Well, like we talk to each other in between points, and we always encourage each other and things like that. Like you said, we're not very we don't really cheer out loud a lot. It's more like because we were both more like quiet players, so we just encourage each other more by like talking to each other, and we trust each other to know that we're gonna do good and we're gonna get the next ball and win.
Well, Nathan, talk about your doubles partner as well.
Well, I've been playing with Cannon for I think since like sophomore year, and we've played on and off, but we played all season, and I feel like I know him well. And we have a lot of unspoken like signals. So we serve and volley a lot, but like I'll be at the net and I'll just turn around and I'll shake my head and he knows what to do, and we'll just take it from there. So it's like it's good to have like that connection with somebody, especially a doubles partner, just to know each other like that, and it really helps our game.
Well, I want to come back to the both of y'all one more time, okay? One of the great things that I saw today was as the court starts to clear through the doubles, y'all were all up against the fence. You're all over there watching that. You're into that match 110%. I know you don't normally get that within your own match sometimes because you might be the last one playing. But how important is that bond for y'all as a team, Brittany? And we'll start off with you. As far as knowing as soon as somebody's match is done, win, lose, or draw, they're going to be on that fence and bringing that energy to you.
I think it's very important, to encourage my teammates and to let them know that even though I can't be, out there helping them, I still have their backs from the stand, and I'm watching, making sure like when they hit like a really good point that we cheer for them, and just making sure like they have energy without the match and helping them, keep their energy up and not get down on themselves when they're losing. And I think that really helps someone when they're playing, especially singles match when it's like, down to like maybe one of the last matches, and your match is your team's like depending on you to win that match, to win the whole thing. I think it makes a really big difference when your team, your teammates are there for you and they're cheering.
Well, Nathan, I mean, you're hearing people after they win their point, hollering mid-low out on that court, loud and proud, even though their match is still going on. And then Coach Wrinkle is like the road runner out there, making, I don't know how many miles that guy ran today, going from place to place to place. I think he ran 2 miles in that last doubles match, going back and forth, just getting away and then coming back. But how important is it to y'all? And I know this is, he says it's on y'all. You got to go out and do the work. It's an individual sport. But how important are those words of encouragement, hearing that yell? to y'all just in between, sets, all that kind of stuff?
Well, it's very important especially because it's our home courts, and we even do this when we're away, but we control the energy on our court. You're not going to cheer us off court. We've always been louder, and we're going to, we're that kind of team. We're going to encourage each other. We're going to cheer each other on, even if we're not we can cheer each other on from courts, but it's very important to have that energy and just that atmosphere of just we're going to win. And this is a team effort. It's a team fight. Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to go over to Coach Wrinkle now, and you guys have made it through the bi-district round. You got the area round coming up. What are some, do you have details maybe when that's going to be? And then what would you personally like to see as a leap forward into this next round?
Yeah, so we play the winner of Texas High and Crandall. I think they play tomorrow. So we have, regardless of who wins that, we're going to play on Thursday at 10 a.m. We'll see what the weather does, and if we need to push that to Friday, we will. The UIL gives us a 2-day window to play that match. So tentatively right now it's Thursday, 10 a.m. and we'll just see who we play. I say this all the time. My philosophy doesn't change based on where we're at in the season or what our circumstance is. We need to show up and get better every day. It's extremely difficult if you've played sports to show up and try to get a little bit better every day. Some days you're not feeling it. Some days it's hot. Some days it's cold. Some days you're lacking confidence. Some days maybe you're dealing with a nagging injury, and there's all the excuses in the world to just kind of skate by that day. And teams that are above average or teams that continually excel are ones that try to find a way to get better every day. I try to do that as a coach, and I think the kids this season, I would say for the most part, every day at practice, every single one of us have gotten a little bit better. It's just a simple formula, but that's what we're going to be looking to do the next 2 days. We have to get a little bit better Tuesday and Wednesday. And then once it comes to match time, the preparation's over, and we're going to see what we got. We're going to go out and compete, control what we can control, and we'll see what happens.
Well, Coach, is that at MHS or is that a location to be determined?
More than likely, if it's Texas High, we'll play in Sulphur Springs. And then if it's Crandall, we'll play somewhere in between Corsicana or Ennis. There's actually very few locations to meet in between, like a Crandall and a Midlothian. It's harder than you would actually think. So
well, I think we froze Coach out. There we go. But no, I understand what you're saying. I imagine it's extremely hard to find a place in between there and Crandall to get something going. But Brittany, Nathan, Coach Wrinkle, thank y'all so much. Congratulations. I mean, every year y'all just keep setting new records, new heights for other people to try to reach. And we're proud of you. Represent Ellis County well. And, we can't wait for y'all to beat somebody north of 20 because that's what we love. Okay.
Heck yeah. Well, hey, and I know Keith and Chad and the other guys from our district, they watch this, and Keith either plays today or tomorrow, and Corsicana plays today or tomorrow, and they're in our district, but we want them to represent District 14 well. Hopefully when they win their district, and we keep the streak of District 14 being dominant in South DFW. So good luck to those guys.
Yeah, and folks, I'm going to go one last thing before we go. Brittany, do you know who Michael Irvin is? Okay, you know who Coach Wrinkle is, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, when Coach Wrinkle wants to get y'all fired up and he's out there giving you that speech, I want you to give me your best speech, like Coach Wrinkle, on why everybody should come to this next round. I want you to be loud and proud, girl. Come on and bring it.
Well, he always has us like he'll be like, okay, everybody, close your eyes, through your mouth. Now let's envision ourselves. What can we control today? You gotta have a good attitude, play the best you can. You may not be able to control how you play. You may just have like a bad day today, but you can control your energy, cheering for your teammates, your mindset and how you're playing. That's
Well, I tell you what, Seth, sounds like people need to get out and learn how to do all that stuff because I can't do it. I'll tell you that right now. But
he can't even breathe through his nose.
No, no. My UTR bag tag is 0.1 because I can lay on the court. That's about it. All right. But congratulations on another great accomplishment over there at Midlothian. We hope to see that y'all continue on, and we'll hopefully have you back on when we're talking about going just a little bit deeper in them playoffs.
Pinnacle Bank is here to help our community grow by partnering with local real estate agents and developers to bring the services we need.
There's so much happening here, and we're able to get Pinnacle Bank to join up with us. They've got a location at the Midlothian Crossing, and Christy, you're doing a great job. Debbie, you too. I love, for me as a local broker, is to bring local people to you as a prospect and to show that you're part of the community.
So talk with someone you can trust about commercial loans and business services. Pinnacle Bank, not just a bank in Texas, but Texas in a bank. Member FDIC.
We're bringing in Milford Football on tonight, Coach Wells. We got Jordan Essery. Thank y'all so much for taking time out of your busy evening. Coach, we'll come to you first. I got to say, 78 points in a game, even for six-man, that's impressive as you guys come away with the district opener. There was also your homecoming as well against Bynum. Bynum's not bad. It's got to feel pretty good. We always talk about football split up into two halves. You got your non-district, and then you got the real season in the district play. And it seems like you guys have clicked kind of at the right time. How do you feel coming off that first district win?
You know what? We feel real good. We're excited about what we were able to do Friday night. We've been working on our offense ever since we left the Abbott game, and we have been able to move the football. We moved the football pretty good against our last opponent, and we moved the football well against Penelope, and we realized we knew that we could move the football, and we did it. We went out. We got an excellent running back. Actually, we got 2 or 3 running backs that complement one another, but Corey did a good job of running the football, and we put some play action off in there, and we was able to sneak some down the way, catch a few passes that put us in scoring position. So we're excited about what's going on right now.
Well, Jordan, what's exciting? How is it the feel in the locker room with you guys? I mean, small school football, playing six-man, but y'all are so stinking tight, it's kind of crazy. What's that atmosphere like when y'all are all together?
I mean, we all know we got each other's backs at the end of the day, and we know nothing can break us apart, really.
Very good, man. Very good. Well, Coach, one of the big things that we got to see in this week, y'all are going to be in the highlight reel, but one of the big things was it looked like your passing was spot on. When you threw the ball, it was looking really good. How is that going to help y'all evolve and really get going and allow that running game to open up?
Well, it's tremendous. And I think that, of course, our running game is what opened up our passing. We were able to make some things happen on our sweeps and our dives, and we do a lot of play action and things. And so that opened up our pass, and that kept Bynum off balance. We were able to throw the football against our last opponent. And, actually passing the football is what actually brought us the victory against Penelope. So our passing is getting better. It's getting better. Preston throws the ball well. We're expecting Oscar to be back real soon. And so we'll have a couple of kids that can throw the football.
Well, Jordan, I know one thing that you guys are looking to improve on is that defense. You guys did just enough with the way y'all were scoring to get it through, but maybe what are some things that you feel like that you need to touch on, or that as a team that y'all want to continue to get better at to help that defense kind of solidify itself and help complement that offense?
We got to get our secondary defense stronger, for sure, because that's who was playing all Friday night long. Pretty much our whole secondary team defense. And I think if they get strong enough, they won't have a problem doing anything.
Well, Coach, to stay on the topic of defense here, when you guys are putting up points and you're answering, taking the lead, and especially in six-man, those guys are on the field all the time. And I know conditioning comes into play. Talk about the mentality and how, when we talk about your passing game and your running game complementing each other, when you are attacking on the ground, keeping your defense maybe off the field as long as you can, but having those guys and having those guys come back from injury to help you guys out on defense, because I know everybody wants to score points. Like you said, that's keeping those the quicker you score, defense comes right back out on the field. Talk about the mentality those guys have to stay locked in and to help shore up that side of the ball.
Well, you know, these guys know, first of all, I'm defensive minded. So that's something that's always on their mind, because this is what I think will help us be able to be successful in the playoffs or even in our district and things. And so we keep them motivated, you know, by continuing to tell them, hey, look, we're moving the football well, we're able to score on them, but we have to stop these guys from scoring, you know. And because they know they can score, they're excited about going back on defense and things. And if they're scored upon, the thing I think that motivates them is that they have that confidence that they can move that football back down that field and things. It's hard when you're on offense and you turn around, you have to play defense. I try as much as possible to keep Corey off the defensive side, but of course Friday night we had to have him out there.
Well, and Jordan, you know, I was out there one of the first days of practice, and just talk about how, you know, being out there on that backfield at Milford has prepared y'all for right at this moment when y'all are hitting this district run.
Can you say that again?
How did all those practices out in that backfield over at Milford this summer, you know, right before school started, how did that prepare you to get ready for this district run that you're making right now?
Oh, it's prepared us a lot. I mean, as you know, it was hot out there during the summer, and we did a ton of running. We did a bunch of drills. We worked, man.
Well, Seth, go ahead. I'm sorry, Jordan. I thought you done.
No, you're good. Practicing that heat, and then as it starts to cool off, it gets a whole lot easier. So it just makes everything even better.
Well, Jordan, I know Seth doesn't know this, but let me tell you, Coach Ivy, he's throwing those balls. He ain't taking nothing off of them, because he got me. I thought Jordan was about to laugh when he hit me right in the gut. I don't know if Jordan remember that or not, but Jordan was laughing at me at that day. But, you know, Jordan, just talk about the coaching staff. You know, we got Coach Wells on with us. How are the other coaches really inspiring y'all to find the best that you can be?
Well, Coach Ivy, he'll come to me personally and ask me everybody's mindset, how everybody's doing. And he'll just make sure everybody's on the same page, locked in, ready to play. And then Coach Yates, he's the more relaxed coach. He's gonna treat you like a friend, but you know he means business.
Awesome. Well, Coach Wells, y'all got a big one not coming up this Friday, but next Friday as you take on Abilene. And when we talk about the rivalry there, it's going to be amplified this year. You guys are both 1-0, and in this district of 4 teams, top 2 going, you get 3 wins, and you're pretty much in there. Talk about what this upcoming game against Coach Cole and them Eagles is going to mean, and how your guys are ready for this big time Friday night game?
Well, I mean, let's be realistic. We didn't start out well this year, but if we are able to go 2-0 in this district, we're actually putting ourselves in the driver's seat as far as coming out as a district champion. So this is a big game for us, you know, we're going to be serious about preparing for this game. If we're able to win this game, like I said, you know, we believe that we'll be able to be the district champion.
Well, and Jordan, you know, you got this extra week to get healed up, have everybody hopefully back for y'all. But for you personally, what would this mean, you know, to, you know, put the naysayers down, right? All these people are like, oh, they're having a bad season, they're having a bad season. How much would it mean to you and the rest of the team to just kind of say, bad season, district champs?
Yeah, that's going to be a lot because I don't know if you know, but my freshman year, the year after Milford went to state, we still had most of our players, and we only made it the first round of playoffs with that team. And, I mean, if we made it with this team, it'd mean a whole lot to us and to prove everybody else wrong.
I'm going to tell you what, though, man. Jordan doesn't say a whole lot around anybody, but when he does, you best listen, okay? He get them bear claws on you, you going down. Well, Jordan, I want to come right back to you, okay? We were talking to Coach beforehand, and, you know, we had some clips. I was showing Seth before. You know, y'all putting the pop on these guys on the defensive side. When you hit them, they ain't going forward anymore.
Yeah.
They're going back about 3 yards. I mean, how much is that firing y'all up, getting those big shots, you know, whether it's a block downfield, you know, I mean, a lot of this is, you know, a block, a tackle, doesn't matter. Y'all are putting the pop to them, and how much fired up does that get you?
That gets the whole team fired up. I mean, you can see the way the defense changes as soon as somebody gets a big hit, because you can see, like, everybody's human. Everybody can get hit, and it lights some up inside of all of us, makes us just want to hit them even more.
Well, Coach Wells, you know, we got to say, take a look at homecoming and just talk about the support you are getting from the community, you know, and I mean, you had the stands pretty good out there. The band was loud, the whole 9 yards. You know, y'all had a little clap out there going through the school the other day. Just talk about the excitement that's building in Milford.
Well, you know what? We got great fans. We got great fans in Milford. One of the things that has always impressed me about Milford was the fan and support of the school and the way that they supported the teams while they were out there participating. So we got great fans. They've been real supportive with me. They've been patient with our boys when we were going through that slump and things. And I can't say too much about, you know, how good that our fans are and how supportive they are to the team.
Well, Jordan, I'm going to ask you to do something that is totally out of character for you. Okay. Do you know who Michael Irvin is?
I've heard of him.
Okay. All right. So
you're making me feel old, Jordan.
Yeah. And I'm the old guy here. All right. Me and Coach were playing ball down at Charlton, going to Charlton back when Methuselah was alive. Okay. But I want you to find your inner Michael Jordan. I want you to get pumped up. I want you to tell everybody in Ellis County why they need to be there for that Milford Avalon game and be cheering for y'all in 2 weeks. I mean, get fired up, man, like you're talking to your teammates.
It's going to be hard for me to do.
Oh, come on, buddy.
I don't really get fired up like that.
Okay.
But everybody needs to come out. We're going to need everybody's support for this game. We're going to need the crowd being loud. Going to need everybody behind us supporting us. And we're going to go out. We're going to play. We're going to go out and beat Avalon for sure.
There you go.
That'll work, baby.
Well,
That'll work.
Hey, Jordan, you know what you need to do, though, is y'all need to put it down right now that if y'all beat Avalon, then guess what? Coach needs to do a TikTok, a victory TikTok, that we can post out there. What do you think?
I'll try to get him to do it.
There we go. Well, y'all got a younger coach out there as well. You know?
Yeah.
They don't know that Coach Wells. They don't know Coach Wells is basically technologically ignorant. They don't know. I wouldn't know how to start getting a TikTok.
Well, Coach, can you dance? If you can dance, yeah, they can film it. Let me tell you.
Dance.
Yeah. We'll get you doing a victory dance.
But you know.
So, well, Coach Wells, Jordan, we appreciate y'all taking time on your fair day and on your bye week to come on and give us a little insight. We wish y'all the best of luck, and we cannot wait for that game next Friday night. Y'all go get them, and we'll get y'all on later, maybe talking about the district championship. But best of luck. Thank y'all again. We'll see y'all down the road.
In Ellis County, you know where to go for the best pizzas and burgers.
Welcome to Doe City. How are you doing today?
A menu that allows you to have it just the way you like it. Great, friendly customer service. And all the toppings you can handle. So what do our customers say about Doe City?
We come up here all the time, so we love the pizza and the burgers also.
It's somewhere we can all come and have a good time with our friends and enjoy the good food that they have here. I love the fries.
That it's cooked to order, so you're always gonna get it fresh.
Doe City's always a great place to come and hang out with your friends.
Whether it's Tuesday or Friday night after a ball game in Ellis County, guess what? You can always make it over and have a little bit of Doe-licious.
It's delicious.
Delicious.
It's delicious.
So come in or order out at Doe City Pizza and Burgers in Red Oak, Texas.